Natives of Jiangsu, Tibet Autonomous Region, China, by a camera, glass plate negative, 1924. Last photo of all four beetles together, August 22, 1969. Thomas Jefferson portion of Mount Rushmore under construction, 1939. March 28, 1979, a coolant leak at the 3 Mile Island's Unit 2 nuclear reactor. Outside Harrisburg, Pennsylvania leads to the core overheating in a partial meltdown. March 10, 1959, fearing an abduction attempt by China, 300,000. Tibetans surround the Dalai Lama's palace to prevent his removal. March 7, 1965, civil rights demonstrators marching from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, were attacked by police on Bloody Sunday. February 27, 1933, the German Parliament building, Reichstag, burns down due to an arson attack. A young Philippe Petit is met by the press after performing an illegal tightrope routine between the twin towers of the newly constructed World Trade Center, 1974. Chicago, 1947, Nick Cases positively identifies James Morelli, the man who shot him in the neck then killed his brother, John Cases. (1962), England, test pilot George Aird ejects from his doomed Lightning F1 moments before impact. Watched by a startled farmer. He landed in a greenhouse with multiple broken bones, remaining unconscious until the automatic sprinklers kindly informed him that he was not dead. Jan Rose Casimir holds a flower up to a wall of bayonets during a protest against the Vietnam War outside the Pentagon on October 21, 1967. November 25, 1963, flanked by his mourning mother, JFK Jr. salutes his father's casket. It was his 3rd birthday. Photo by Stan Stearns. The teenager who saved a man with an SS tattoo, Keisha Thomas, was 18 when the Ku Klux Klan, the white supremacist organization, held a rally in her hometown in Michigan, 1996. The notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, Milwaukee cannibal. The notorious serial killer Ted Bundy. Fidel Castro visits the Lincoln Memorial, 1959. A 1945 photo shows children prisons of the German prison camp Auschwitz in Poland. An 81-year-old Encino woman who survived the Holocaust and was among a group of young Auschwitz prisoners shown in this iconic 1945 photo was reunited with a German researcher who was captivated by the image. One of the kidnappers of the Munich massacre. Summer 1972. This photo taken March 30, 1942 shows Fumiko Hayashida holding her daughter Natalie while being evacuated from Bainbridge Island, Washington. Fumiko passed away November 2014 at the age of 103. The first image from Comet. In the middle of the Korean War, this kitten found herself an orphan. Luckily, she found her way into the hands of Marine Sergeant Frank Prater. An American soldier wears a hand-lettered "War is Hell" slogan on his helmet, Vietnam, 1965. Primary school student, Liang Yaoi, 11, from Shenzhen donates his organs before his death to save others. The Chinese doctors are bowing down to him. U.S. sailors stationed at Pearl Harbor reacting to the official signing of the surrender by the Japanese, September 2, 1945. The Baker explosion, part of Operation Crossroads, a nuclear weapon test by the United States military at Bikini Atoll, Micronesia, on July 25, 1946. This is the first known photograph of the American flag taken on June 21, 1873. By George Henry Preble. The flag was flown over Fort McHenry in Baltimore, Maryland, during an infamous battle between the British and the United States during the War of 1812. The Mona Lisa being returned to the Louvre after World War II. Soldier raises Soviet flag over Reichstag in Berlin, 1945. Max von Sydow's father Marin approaches the Georgetown home where the possession takes place as light from a window cuts through fog in an image inspired by a Magritte painting. The Exorcist, 1973. Cult leader Charles Manson's thousand-mile stare, captured in one of the most famous mug shots of all time and the story of his followers' murderous two-night rampage in 1969 Los Angeles terrified America. Horatio Gordon Robley posing with his collection of mokamokai, the preserved heads of Maori with facial tattoos, 1895. Production of them increased in the 1820s because of European demand. Photographed in 1863, Peter, aka Gordon, a man who was enslaved in Mississippi. This famous photo was distributed by abolitionists. Armed female Sandinista guerrilla nursing her infant. Robert Thompson, 10 years old, left, and John Venables, 10 years old. At their arrest in 1993 for the murder of James Bulger, 2 years old. They were both granted lifelong anonymity after serving 8 years. Minneapolis women lining up to vote for the time in a presidential election, 1920. This photograph, which illustrates the adaptation of physiognomic measurement by Nazi race scientists, was published on the cover of the Neue Illustrierte Zeitung on June 1, 1933. Lasting from 1955 to 1996, the Mickey Mouse Club featured myriad child performers, all of whom encouraged that its audiences make moral choices in life. Taken early on into its existence, this image reveals the show's cult-like undertones. Amid the appalling devastation and bodies of dead soldiers, a crucifix stands tall, miraculously preserved from the shell fire. The powerful image was captured after a bloody skirmish in 1917 by Walter Kleinfeld. Max Factor is often called the father of modern makeup. In 1914, Max Factor created a makeup specifically for movie actors that, unlike theatrical makeup, would not crack or cake. 3 Japanese archers, late 19th century. Disability activists abandon their wheelchairs and mobility devices and crawl up the 83 stone steps of the U.S. Capitol building demanding the passage of the American with Disability Act, March 12, 1990. This is Hitler's inner sanctum inside the bunker, partially burned by retreating German troops and stripped of valuables by invading Russians. Victor Bola's Pioneers Defense Drill, Leningrad. 1937. Two million people gathered in Times Square to celebrate the end of World War II. May 8, 1945. Priest Luis Maria Padilla is holding a wounded soldier in his arms during an uprising in Puerto Cabello, Venezuela, in 1962. Evacuating Saigon, April 30, 1975. An American evacuee punches away a South Vietnamese man for a place in the last chopper out of the U.S. Embassy. An East German soldier helping a boy cross the newly formed Berlin Wall, 1961. Patient in restraint chair at the West Riding Lunatic Asylum, Wakefield, Yorkshire, 1896. French mugshot of a cold-hearted criminal, François Berthelon, 23 months. Crime. Nibbling through all the pears in a basket at a market.